Hello, I'm Joshua Moorhead, and welcome to our final demo for Draft Vision AI. Our team includes Zach, Tyler, Ryan, Lucas, and myself. Our app helps NFL coaches, analysts, and fans make smarter, faster draft decisions by bringing draft predictions, player statistics, and mock draft tools into one platform. Today, you'll meet three users: Coach Tim, Sports Analyst Rob, and Fan Dan, who will all use our app to solve different problems.
Hey, I'm Zach, and today I'll be sharing the perspective of Tim, who's a GM for an NFL team. Before using Draft Vision AI, Tim struggled with scouting new prospects. It's really time consuming, the data is inaccurate, and he has to look at a ton of different websites to get the full idea of a prospect. Tim wants to view all his players at once, view prospects of each position, and compare them by key stats. The goal of our app is to give Tim one dashboard where he can filter players, view predicted draft positions, and run mock drafts, saving time and improving his picks.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and one of our users, Rob, is a sports analyst. He covers hundreds of college players every year, but the data is overwhelming. It takes him hours to gather stats for his show. As Rob, I would want to compare quarterbacks by QPR and generate graphs so I can easily share my insights with my viewers. With our app, Rob would be able to filter, compare, and visualize player stats quickly, letting him focus on the content, not the data chase.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I'm representative of Dan the Fan. Dan plays fantasy football. He follows some college football throughout the season, but not quite enough to know which rookies to draft. His friends always seem to be better prepared and have the upper hand. As Dan, I want a simple way to track draft prospects and predict who will succeed so I can win my fantasy league. The goal of our app in this sense is to show Dan the draft predictions, comparisons, and allow him to run mock drafts to plan ahead for fantasy seasons.
Hello, my name is Lucas, and I'm going to quickly touch on the technologies we used to make this application possible. We used React for the front end, Django and Django REST for the back end, PostgreSQL for the database, and scikit-learn for our prediction models. We chose these because they fit really well. React handles all user interaction, Plotly provides visualizations, Django serves the API, powered by PostgreSQL database where all player data lives, scikit-learn powers draft prediction, Render hosts the app, and with GitHub CI/CI/CD for automatic updates. What worked well was that Render made deployment smooth, and scikit-learn gave us fast, solid predictions. But we did face some challenges. We initially explored PyTorch, but decided scikit-learn was more efficient for this version. Now I'm going to pass it back to Josh so he can start to demo our application.
Okay, welcome to our homepage for Draft Vision AI. Our homepage immediately offers users the ability to join the community. In addition, it also at the bottom shows what features Draft Vision AI uses. That we have AI-powered predictions, custom mock drafts, community insights, and what our vision is for the app. At the top, it allows for easy navigation, as if Dan the Fan wanted to go between draft tools, check out the community, or start his first mock draft. So let's see Dan the Fan sign up for Draft Vision AI. Immediately following sign up, Dan will be logged into the app where he can have various features and save his drafts. Okay, so Dan the Fan is logged in, and now let's see Dan head over to the player list, check out his first draft tool.
All right, let's get into the player directory page. This is a great tool for viewing past players and how they've done in college and the NFL. We've set up tools to filter by position, the university they went to, and the years that they played in college. Let's start by taking a look at Patrick Mahomes. You can see the player rating we've assigned him, which essentially is added value that he's given the Chiefs during his years. When expanded, you can see a quick profile with general info about him, key stats from his time at Texas Tech, a quick bio about his time at Texas Tech, and a graph comparing key metrics between him and his peers in the NFL. So let's look deeper at the graph. Let's change the X column to draft pick and click search. Now you can see him in the red dot and how he compares to his peers in the NFL. Obviously, he has a much higher value. Now you can do this with any metric you want in the table. You can mess around as much as you like to view as many stats as you like and get the best comparisons possible. People like Tim, the GM, are going to love this tool for viewing players. Now we're going to switch over to the big board. This is very similar, but now we get to view incoming prospects. So now we're looking at 2024 incoming draft. So let's expand on Caleb Williams. And we'll see that one key difference here is the impact graph. And in this, you can compare a selected player to others in the draft class at his position. This is a great way for GMs like Tim to view the incoming prospects and how we think they're going to do in the NFL. With that, we conclude the big board, and I'll pass it off to Tyler to talk more about the player comparison tool.
Up next, we have our player comparison tool, where you're able to compare two different players and their stats. For Rob the Analyst, for example, he's able to compare two different quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, for example, and have an easy way to see their information and a couple of key stats, as you can see there. And you can see, obviously, Patrick Mahomes there has a lot better stats in comparison to Joe Burrow in this year. It's also very easy to reset the state of the tab and with the compare different players button, and that sends you back to the original state of the tab. With that, I can turn it over to Ryan with our create a player tab.
Okay, so moving over here, we've got our create your player page. Dan, of course, is going to self-insert himself into the 2024 NFL draft. He, of course, is a modest guy, and he's trying to be realistic about the stats that he would have in college if his knee didn't give out on him back in high school. This is a great what-if tool for all the fans out there, all the conceptual fans that maybe wanted to see themselves in the league or even just having fun with their friends. We can finish up putting our stats in here, and Dan, of course, is going to be a little disappointed to find that he's going to be a 6th-round draft pick in the 2024 draft. We got our AI analysis of the draft pick as well, and even a pro comparison to a real NFL player in the league. And now I'm going to pass it along to the mock draft with Lucas.
So immediately off the mock draft page, you can select the team that you want to draft as. You can select as many teams as you want, or you can select none and see how the computer would operate. For ease of demonstration, we're going to select the Chicago Bears as they have the 1st-round pick in the year we're going to demonstrate. Down here, you can set your draft settings. So if you want to experience different years, maybe your team had a really bad draft in 2020 and you want to fix it, you can go back. You can do as many rounds as possible that are in the NFL draft. You can only do one. We'll stick with one. And you can adjust time per pick if you need more time to think about your selection, but we're going to keep it with 30. Once you click Enter Draft Room, it's going to take you to the draft room, where you can either exit draft, return to setup if you're not really quite feeling how you set it up. But we're going to go ahead and start the draft. So this is a user pick where you can see all the different players. You can propose trades, or you can also receive trades from the users. When you trade with the CPU, your picks will be swaps. And here you can see Caleb Williams. We're going to go ahead and select him. Now, for all of the CPU picks, these are going to be made based on our algorithm. Back to our pick. And if you want to view more about a player, click on their name, and it's similar to the player card with the stats, their impact, and their biography. so you can learn more. You can also filter by position, or if you want a specific player, then you can search for them. We want Brian Thomas. He was a crazy wide receiver. Not much time left. We're going to have to pick him, a little bit stressful, but here we go. You can also pause the draft, resume the draft. You can pause and then exit, but it will not save your draft. So we're going to continue and we're going to resume. And as you can see, this draft is going to continue with the order. And if you were to do a 2-round or 3-round draft, then that will dynamically update the draft order so it properly reflects the correct order of that current round for that current year. Now, once all the draft is done, we can go ahead. You can return to the draft. You can return to the home. We're going to name it the demo draft, and we're going to save the mock drafts. Going to get a little fun, a little confetti, and it's going to take you back to the mock draft home. With that, I'm going to swing over to save drafts, where Josh is going to talk about this feature.
Okay. Now this is our page for your saved drafts. And as you can see, there's a few buttons. If you click on draft analysis, Dan the fan can then look at his draft and then see a little bit about, especially if he hits view details, it tells him a little bit more about the draft itself, who he picked, and why he was associated with that grade that he got. Fortunately, Dan was not a great drafter here. He received a grade of F. Areas of improvement: could have addressed secondary depth earlier, especially being Chicago and its potential reach. And if you click out of that, the other thing with saved drafts is that you can share it to be public with the community. Right now it's private, so if you hit share public, nice. Now let's over to the community tab to see where it went. So these are other community tab drafts, and let's look for Dan's demo draft. There it is, most recent. All right, it's got 1 like and 2 views. Now let's try to comment on our own draft so others can see. Say, my bad draft. Perfect. Alrighty, Dan will post that. And there you go. And it even has the ability to like the comment to see what is happening among the community. If we looked at other drafts, we can also view their details and see who they picked and what grade they received. And you can even like a draft. Well, that draft was pretty good, huh? Exactly. So whether you're an NFL GM, a fan, or an analyst, you can go here to see what the community is doing, who's liking what, and what grades they're being received. Nice. Dan the fan has 2 liked drafts. So with that, we can head into our challenges and highlights with Draft Vision AI.
So one of our big challenges was really training the model for accurate but fast predictions. Both balancing the speed and depth for real-time usage took a lot of time and a lot of tuning. On top of that, pre-processing the player data to ensure a clean, consistent input for the model was also a key in our development, and definitely ate up a lot of time in that.
Another challenge was loading large data sets quickly. This was solved by using caching and optimized queries. Finally, managing user authentication was difficult. Keeping users logged in across sessions and ensuring state handling was tough. Now I'm going to pass it to Tyler to wrap it all up.
So to finish, Draft Vision AI, it helps coaches, analysts, and fans alike save time and make better draft decisions. From detailed stats to mock drafts, everything you need is in one place. Whether you're building a team, broadcasting insights, or playing fantasy, our app gives you the tools to succeed. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy using our app.